And lastly, we are now going to be moving on into our team usage in Pure Fiction. I'm guessing the rank 1 team. Let me think. Alright, hear me, guys. This might sound crazy, but I think the rank 1 team might be the Remembrance flagship for both side 1 as well as side 2. Alright, so let's just see if MrPokke in its infinite knowledge in HSR is going to be right. What? Okay, I'm actually wrong. How can this be, bro? How can Fei Xiao be here, bro? She's tier 0.5 Apocalyptic Shadows. How in name can she be here at E2, by the way? At E2, by the way, how the is this 0.5 getting cooked by 1.5, bro? That's crazy, right? That is absolutely crazy. I refuse to accept this. I will not accept this. These are lies. These are lies. Misinformation. I would, yep. I just went ahead and compiled not 1, not 2, not 3, but all 4 analytic contents within Prydwen.gg regarding Honkai Star Wars endgame content between Memory of Chaos, Pure Vision, Apocalyptic Shadows, as well as Anomaly Arbitration. Take a look at every single one of their clear cycles, performance, appearance rate, as well as team comps. So without further ado, stay back, buckle in, and this is gonna be a bumpy video. HSR Analytics, the movie. Alright, welcome back. So we are not gonna be starting anymore, essentially because we have a massive overhaul in terms of performance as well as numbers crunching between all 4 endgame content, MOC, blah 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 and blah. We are just gonna go through all of them. I was asking my chat, do I do it separately for 4 videos or just send it to 1? Turns out everybody wanted to do for 1, so all for 1 is going to be, right? So this is gonna be our MOC Analytics last updated on the 10th of January. Don't use the data to compare pool value. Unfortunately, it will never happen. So we can just kind of ignore this. Blah, 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 blah. Let's go right now. Jumping right in. I ain't even gonna stall. Boom skis, right? So the fastest clear in Memory of Chaos as of 3.8, literally just updated today, is actually Harmony Trailblazer, with a whopping 92 cycle reduction in terms of cycle performance, because before this patch, nobody used HMC to clear MOC. And now with the Dahlia update, use code both of them on gamers also, right? With the Dahlia update, HMC is actually the fastest clearing unit in the entire game. Most likely, if I were to make a guess, is gonna be the Sustainless team, right? The Sustainless Super 8 teams, where they make use of HMC with either Firefly or Firefly to absolutely destroy, most likely in this case, Hule, right? So very good performance HMC. And then jumping into the next one, it is gonna be a triple Evernight. Crazy. We have a 2.75 for main DPS Evernight, 44.22 which is sub DPS for Evernight against the Castress team, as well as I'm guessing this is the aggregate for both combined into one, where they take all into consideration. So once again, Evernight proving herself to be essentially one of, if not the fastest clearers in this MOC, most likely because people that own Castress might not have Evernight, but people that have Evernight probably do have Castress. A little bit similar to like the Aircross performance with or without Telltale way back in version 2.5. So that is gonna be that. And the next unit after is actually Cyrene, with a whopping 52.32% appearance, coming in at a 7.96 cycle average, which is frankly speaking absolutely exceptional, considering that we are probably going to be using Cyrene in a lot of not just Remembrance flagships, but also Remembrance flagships. So that's going to be that. And then going into the next unit is actually the worst pool value of all time according to Sarah. Ling Sha of the Lake has secured the 4th fastest clear. Actually, yeah, the 4th fastest clear out of every single component in Super League with a whopping 8.14 cycle average or a 10.16% appearance. This is honestly very straightforward. People that want to run main DPS Lingsha is probably gonna doing a lot better compared to the Super Breakers that are running Lingsha with a break DPS, which is ultimately gonna reduce their overall performance down by quite a bit. Essentially, in other words, ruined by casuals, right? Lingsha's performance is bloated by the non-casuals, and the casuals actually ruined all the DPS's actual performance, so it is gonna be there. And following very closely with Lingsha is gonna be Fagyu at a 14.73, which is honestly a little bit surprising that Dahlia is not the one that is in this list over here. So it is what this both of these are gonna be around the same analysis. Saridra actually comes out as the next DPS at an 8.24 cycle at 21.95% appearance, most likely because of her use case with Finon, most likely because of her use case with Nexa, especially if we're going to be able to run a couple of sustainless teams with these team compositions, because most likely casuals wouldn't really play Saridra since most casuals are still going to be running the Remembrance flagship. So that's going to be our Saridra, and the next unit is none other than the Girlfriend. From a 0 usage clear, which is 99, from nobody using Firefly to clear Memory of Chaos, to a overwhelming performance upgrade to 8.26 cycles, barely just behind Fagyu at 8.24, 15.8%. And yes, keep in mind, this is going to be the power of E0 Firefly, which is why the appearance is actually kind of low. If I were to make a guess, if I were to swap this into E2, she's probably going to be a lot higher in performance. So that's going to be the Firefly. And right out of Firefly, Endeavorus, the man that got shafted, Mr. Free, right? Mr. Free at just 0.01 cycle behind Firefly, coming in at a 10.99% appearance. Really good performance, especially if you want to consider running him in Hule. Even if you want to run him against Firefly, they are both pretty decent, especially if you want to run bro as a sustainer. So that's gonna be there. And after Archer, literally just by another 0.01 gap. So these three units that are literally all by a 0.01 gap, Firefly, Archer, and now Casterus, the Amphoria's girlfriend. Now, the thing with Casterus being the Amphoria's girlfriend is that her appearance is ultimately the highest out of all the units we have seen here, right? At a whopping 55.52% appearance, thanks to global passive, thanks to Remembrance flagship, and thanks to her giant swing. So very good performance for Casterus, not too much to be said over here. And closely behind is gonna be Hia, which everybody already know how good she's gonna be, so anyone do. And Dahlia is our latest break support, coming in at 8.34, which will bring us a runner for the very first row in our MOC clear data. And then jumping on into the remaining category, we do have ourselves a brand new DOT before Bard Black Swan, so I can only imagine what she as well as Sparkle are gonna be able to do after their buffs in 4.0. So I'll be waiting for them to stay tuned a little bit more. Car is actually not doing too bad at 5.64%. I do wonder how she's gonna be able to hold, especially in the future when we do want to run, let's just say for example, like Sparkle with Archer. Will we run Sustainless Car, and we see Sustainless Car shoot all the way up to the same caliber HMC, so stay tuned to find out. Then Kafka is Kafka DOT, and I want to do Hyacinth DOT, and I want to do where actually came up. I have no idea what happened, but where I'm 99% sure she is single-handedly boosted by the 3 Nihility mummies. I think that's the only explanation for a 8.43 cycle average at a 6.87% appearance rate. Tends to be a little bit aligned with, for example, the DOT appearance, which is already kind of low. Other than this, I'm guessing Saber probably brought down Bro's performance, because I don't see Saber anywhere near the top 3 rows. So that's gonna be Huan, which actually won Sunday by 0.01 cycles. Crazy, despite Sunday having a 36.1% appearance, which means that there are more players using Sundays. So if we were to bring this number up a little bit higher, I think Huan will probably go down a little bit. But Sunday is at a very nice spot right in the middle, and right after Sunday is gonna be Finon. Not too much to be said. Alright, Finon, if you're gonna be running Saridra, running Sunday, I don't think you're gonna be having too much of an issue. Silverwolf actually went down by a little bit, but very low usage rate, and this is just a false, by the way. Right, Okay, if you guys want to prove why this is false, might I kindly divert your attention to this particular video right here, right? Hold up. This particular video right here. Give me a second. I need to show you guys this a little bit. Alright. Okay, let's take a peek over here. So this was literally last week. I don't know what is my editor saying for this particular video over here, but let's take a peek over here, right? Let's see. So essentially we got ourselves the 00 cycle with facial completely relatable. So this here is just full of shit. She should be actually at 0 over here. So it is what I do, it is wordy, right? DHPD, very good usage rate, very good appearance, and then she's gonna be using up against a lot of different teams that use attack scaling. So that is what I do. Bronya went up by actually went down by a little bit, probably because of Phylon, unless we're gonna be using her with any other attack DPS. So this one, Saber is actually not too shabby. Okay, you know what? I take it back. I think Saber actually, no. I stand my point, which is Saber brought down Hue's performance. Because we only have a 3.49% Saber. If Saber did not exist, I could potentially see Hue being exclusively tied to DOT, and it will be more aligned with the DOT performance overall, right? So that is gonna be Saber. And then we do have Aglaya at a very low. We are closely behind with her best friend, Anexa, right? Ooh, I do think that Anexa cycle went up by a quite considerable amount, by almost by 1.43 cycles. So hopefully Anexa main DPS is going to be able to find a little bit more of a home in the upcoming versions. I don't think it will be that bad because let's just say, for example, if Sparkle is going to be getting buffed and she's going to be buffing up all of our, skill points, all kinds of stuff, we could potentially see bro coming up a little bit, right? So we're gonna run Saridra. Maybe we don't even need to run Sunday anymore. We can just run Spargo, and we'll see how that's gonna be going. So very, very good. Acheron as the bomb of a version 2, right? Look at Acheron and look at Facial. Look at Facial and look at Acheron. Yes, so TLDR, Facial absolutely destroyed Acheron. It is what it is. Move on. Nobody cares. Now it's gonna be Teep. Okay, this is honestly my biggest concern, which is the cycle count increase for Teep actually went up by a pretty considerable margin, right? Luckily for us, this is at the end of the day E0, so we haven't factored in E1 Teep, but at a 35.21%, this actually went up by a lot. Now, for example, we would have pictured with Saridra. Saridra also went up by quite a decent amount, right? 1.41 cycles, which is quite high. But the thing is, I can see a future where Saridra can still stay with a hyper carry team comp, but if we are gonna be talking about Teep, right? Her performance in this kind of single target content is really, really hard to scale. So if Version 4 were to continue their pace of sticking with this kind of single target environment, for example, we know the next one is Firefly's Head, right? Breach Nest, Calamity Boss. I am not too sure how bro is gonna be doing. Because, okay, I know Remembrance can still clear because Casuals could potentially have enough damage to instantly one-shot D4 summons. But on the other hand, it will be a bit rough because the first half of Breach Nest is actually against Bronya. It's against Bronya Cocolia, so there's only 2 targets. And then for the Calamity Boss, it's just 1 target for half the fight. And the other fight, Teep is not gonna be doing any follow-up attack damage or remotely close because you don't do any crit at all. So we'll see how this is gonna go in, but if I were to be a guessing man, she is probably gonna go down even more, or rather her cycle count will go up even more. So what to do, Team Yun is just gonna be one guy but a couple of 0 cycles, so I don't have to worry about it. RMC. Ooh, okay, personally I think this is probably still ruined by the sustained and casual community. I think RMC in a pretty decent spot. It's just that going for version 4, I want to see how bro is going to be cooking out, for example, alongside with Archer, right? Alongside with the buffed Sparkle, and maybe we can see a little bit of a better performance. And then this is going to be Gallagher. So TLDR, Gallagher got destroyed by Lingsha at a almost 1 cycle differential, which also is kind of strange because when we did our testing, before we pulled Lingsha, there was almost no difference at full E0. And when we tested against Hule, Gallagher actually cleared 1 cycle faster than Lingsha. which is quite interesting, right? So it doesn't really mean anything, but interesting perspective, and this is gonna be a nicer for always gonna be about with D Herda. But let's just be real, if you are gonna be a D Herda main in this MOC 12, I don't think your life is gonna be doing too good. Alright, so it is what it is. Babin, not too shabby considering it's still E0 along the same caliber as Runmei, which is almost the exact same. So these two are gonna be like our generalist supports. So I guess what is gonna happen eventually, right, is that by version 4, Team is probably gonna be a little bit more aligned to this category. So Team Babin Runmei can be best friends, yay. And then we have a couple of more niche supports, like for example Sarija, like our Cyrene, like maybe for example Car. Then they will probably stick a little bit closer to the high end because niche generally tends to be a lot better when you're gonna be using the best slot niche creators. And then we'll see how version 4 supports and DPS will shape up going forward in the future, right? Then Budo is one guy, so it is what it is. My Day, not too shabby. This is basically Sarah. Kerala didn't really see too much play, but we do have a little bit of a clear, which is not too bad. How the hell did Kerala clear faster than Yingli, by the way? That is very, very strange. So, interesting. D Kerala is definitely not gonna be in the right environment, so I'm not gonna worry too much about it. Same thing for Reba. No good environment for Reba. At least Budo, you could try to use him against Hule, but Reba is just like, you know, it's just really a no-go in this particular MOC. Next up, DPS with D Herda, definitely not going to be doing too well. Venturing Hu, Luocha Hu, and the rest of the units are essentially cooked. Oh my goodness, guys. Blade and Jingliu needs a second buff, guys. They literally just got buffed last year, and now they are homeless in MOC once again. So please, Dawi, buff my mans and my wee mans all the way back up so they can clear once again. Because I think it's a little bit, crazy that even though they are version 1 unit, but they just got buffed. They literally just got buffed, and they are not clearing. So it is what I do, right? So that's gonna be our MOC statistic. Okay, just a quick look at our E0 as zeros. Huh. Wait, the best is... Okay, I just realized, bro, nobody is playing HSR with E0 as 0 anymore. It is literally all less than 1, guys. So if you are playing full E0 as 0, you are literally unrelatable. You are less than the 1%, by the way. You are quite literally less than 1% of the player base, and this is the elitist player base, right? So it is what I do, it is what I do. So let's take a look into our E2s. I am guessing Final is going to be able to pop over here. Holy shit. Crazy, by the way. Mose is ranked... Hey, chat, this is me, by the way. Yo, chat, this is me. Right, I was part of the 4% here. I was part of the 4% here. There we go. This is by your stream, right? I was part of the 4%. I was part of the 4%, right? Absolutely fucking incredible. So we have Mosaic, Avalite, Fuck You, Firefly. Wait, so the Break DBS team actually outclassed the E2 Castor's Remembrance flagship. That is actually kind of surprising. So, very good for the E2 break users. And then this is gonna be our Avalite E2, Saridra, Cyrene. Final actually cleared a little bit faster than Castor's. Absolutely incredible. And then Archer is actually very close around Kaz as well at the E2 level. So our top 5 DPS is essentially Breakers with Firefly, Evernight with a couple of them Evernight main DPS, Final, Castorus, as well as Archer, right? So that is our top 5 DPS at the E2 category. Hia is over here. Sparkle actually doing not too bad. Sunday also not doing too bad. Couple of them Aglaia, which is around the 6 cycle category. Team is also around the same. Wait. Okay, I was like, how the hell did Team clear slower than Runmei? Then I remember that people are running Runmei with break. But Team still clear a little bit slower compared to E2 Babin. I'm guessing because of the population appearance, right? So just a smidge bit more. I wonder what the hell Pella is doing over here. Boot Hill, Heisidence, Kafka, DHPD, Silverwolf, all of the Remembrance as well as the DOT. Very nice. We have a I am not too happy with this, right? Because respectively, last time I checked, this is a 0, guys. Wait, respectively, last time I checked, this is a 0. Alright, the 1 is literally caused by Fire Blum. fire bump. So this was in fact a 0 cycle. So yeah, I'm not too happy with this. We can try to probably bring bro a lot. But anyways, our next is gonna be at this category with a, I don't know what the hell Bailu is doing here. Probably carry with a wheelchair. Huan is kind of there. Ying Li actually coming up a little bit. Reba, Saber, Doctor Ratio. Doctor Ratio cleared faster than E2 Acheron. I don't even know what the fuck is going on, but that one guy maining E2 Doctor Ratio. That is absolutely fucking insane. Then we have a couple of them at Nexus. Right, D Herda, it is what it is. It's not gonna be a good environment. Blade getting a little bit of clear here and there. Jing Yuan got a clear. Jing Liu got a clear. Blade got a clear as well. Almost everyone got a clear except for one or rather two limited users. Argenti and Scylla. Oh, and Imbibitor Luname, right? These three are the only E2 limited DPS that could not clear this MOC. So and that's what I do, it is what it is, right? So now we're gonna jump back down into our appearance. So Hyacinth actually has the highest appearance. I mean, to nobody's surprise, because this guy is basically free. So the sustains are actually gonna be the highest appearance. Kazra is the flagship. So this is almost the exact same phenomenon as back when Super was a thing. So all of them are gonna be running the flagship. So blah 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 blah. Sunday actually being the next highest used units, alongside with the power of E1 team, I'm guessing. And then Final, which is the flagship's alternative, having 31.32% appearance. RMC just kind of split around all over the place. Saridra is gonna be alongside Final. DOT gonna be not too shabby after the buff, and then Firefly is getting a little bit higher of a usage compared to Fugue Dahlia as well as them Bubbins. Archer not doing too shabby. Lingsha is gonna be kind of close over here, and the rest of the units are gonna be in the sub 3-ish% category, which is not too crazy, right? I'm really disappointed at how little people are using Face Yao. Please use the best DPS in the entire. Okay, you know what? Enough is enough. Let's just move. Okay, finally, or rather finally, we have the character usage rate over time for Memory of Chaos. So Casterus is still going to be rank 1 on 3 cycles average, followed by Final. So as long as you invested in Casterus or Final, your performance should be in the tip-top position, right? So this is going to be the flagship team, and then this is going to be the flagship alternative team. That being said, Hyacinth, or rather Hyacinth, is not falling too far behind, and I can only see a world in which Hyacinth go up again, because Black Swan is getting buffed. So we could see a Hyacinth, Black Swan, Kafka, fuck that shit, slap it on with a Sustainless, get like a Bubbin or something. It might be really good for the DOT main. So we'll see how that's gonna be going. Evernight, the appearance is honestly a little bit low. So it is what I do. We have Archer still maintaining top 5 with 6.8% usage, which is very close with. Wait, since when did Saber clear faster than Anaxa? That is strange. I didn't expect Saber to clear faster than Anaxa because we don't even have like a best installed Saber team that's updated by version 3. Like Saber is legit using version 2 supports. Right, she is using Babin, Sunday, and Huan. And Anaxa is literally having the tools like Saridra. He has tools like Cyrene with Saridra. You can run him Sustainers with RMC. You can literally run him with Reddit. Like, he has so many more upgrades. I am genuinely a little bit surprised that Saber still clear out a little bit faster with a roughly the same level of appearance, right? So that's gonna be that quite surprising. Aglaia, it is what it is. This is a lie. Better than Mighty. Okay, as long as the day maintains where Fei Xiao is better than Acheron, I will be happy, right? As long as Fei Xiao is Acheron, I'm gonna be completely fine. So D Herda, unfortunately, for this particular MOC, just really not D Herda's domain. And frankly speaking, we haven't got it in D Herda domain in a while. And I don't think it's gonna be changed. Okay, to be fair, D Herda next MOC might be okay. Because when the Firefly. Okay, actually, no, I take it back. I don't think it will be okay. Unless your D Herda is strong enough to one-shot all 4 bugs at the same time with a skill enhanced skill, you are gonna take a while. Since D Herda's supplementary supports, which are Tribi as well as Anaxa, they can't do damage. If they can only give 1% dealing crit damage, right? So, I do wonder how D Herda is gonna be doing for the next MOC, so we'll see what's up. Bullet Hell, blah, 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 and all the other. Okay, the good news for Firefly mains is that I know for a fact this is gonna improve. Right, by Breach Nest against Evil Firefly, 100,000% she's improving. Because it is low-key designed for breakers anyways, right? So you are definitely going to be coming up, I'm guessing, around this tier. I'm just a little bit surprised that Boot Hill managed to stay here and Firefly couldn't really make it. But I'm absolutely positive Firefly is coming up. But then again, so will Boot Hill, because Boot Hill is also pretty decent against Breach Nest, right? These two units are going to be fine. Rebel also should not be that bad, because you can deal with the bugs as well. So the breakers should having their day soon, and the rest of the units are looking for the Nova Flare. So that's gonna be for DPS. For our sub DPS, everyone undisputed. Black Swan Kafka is really chill. Nexa is still kind of chilling. Jade is honestly, I think she's just gonna go down even more by next rotation. Yeah, because Breach Nest, you can't pick Jade, right? You have to give it to D-Hurt, and she's just not doing too much damage. I have no idea what she's doing, and everyone else is just kinda just did, so no comments whatsoever. Also, Sambo. Maybe, right? Then this is gonna be our amplified. Wait, Saridra is the fastest clearing support. Holy. Okay, I'm guessing this reason, right, is only because the Remembrance flagship users that got themselves Cyrene to pair up with Remembrance flagship probably missed a couple of pieces here and there. Like, for example, they missed out on Hyacinth, they missed out on Evernight, which brought down the overall average, because the appearance is going to be a lot higher, right, compared to Saridra. But other than that, I think Saridra and Cyrene, they're still around the same caliber. Sunday is still maintaining his position at the exact same as Cyrene, but Cyrene only has gotten, like, I think, like 2 rotations, so it's a little bit early to tell. So by next MOC, what I'm guessing is probably going to be happening is that he will probably go around this place. Probably around this place. Because you can still run Sunday against Breach Nest for the hyper carry supports. But the thing is, Archer will be really, really nice with Breach Nest. I got myself a pretty decent Archer. I think like a 3-cycle clear, full E0 with Sparkle. Then whether or not Sunday is going to be able to use up with Archer, we'll see where that's going to be going, right? Then there's going to be Bronya, Teep. I think Teep has just been like slowly going down. Not very obvious, but I think compared to the last couple of analytics, so her performance has been like going down by a little bit, like 0.01, 0.02 every other rotation. So we'll see how she's going to be able to scale for the next MOC. Then RMC is going to be RMC. Car is going to be Car, very niche. I think Sparkle is almost definitely going to be going up by quite a decent amount, especially after the buff. So that's going to be that. Sylve is fine. Teaming is niche, and all the other stuff is going to be there. I'm quite surprised that Dahlia on launch actually has such a not really say bad performance, but I just think people that play Dahlia don't really have the comfort of running them with a additional push with HMC on DDD. Then you can really drive up the action value. So that's gonna be there. Babin Rami around the same caliber, Jiao Fugue around the same caliber. HMC being this low, definitely gonna be pulled down by the previous performance, because right now she is absolutely fucking insane. So we'll see what's up, because this is just gonna go up again by Calamity Boss for the next episode. The rest of that is gonna be there. And lastly, for sustains. To no one's surprise, and to no one's surprise, this is surprising though, because this is not even just for this MOC. I have no idea why is Hue top 3. The thing is, chat, the thing is, right, as somebody that loves Hue, right, I've never once slandered Hue in my entire life. As somebody that loves Hue, I just want to say, while these are the cycle clears on average, it only takes into account when you actually clear. They don't take into the account of how many times you have to reset. Do you get where I'm coming from? So by the time a Huan user gets their clear, that is why she can actually keep your team alive, and the energy regeneration and attack value actually took place. On all those other times that you try running Huan sustain, you are probably going to be having to do that little bit more of a restart option. But that being said, Hue is the best. I love Hue. I love Hue. Anyways, Lingsha is going to be over here, which is going to be a line of ourselves. Very, very close with Gallagher. Then this is going to be Aventry and Luocha, which is around the same tier. Bailu honestly not even doing that bad. And Fu Shen kind of just fell off a goddamn cliff. So right. And now finally, we are going to move on into our last 7, which is the team usage. And there it is. Oh my god. The flagship is the rank 1 team for stage 1. And the flagship is the rank 1 team for stage 2. Woo! Exceptional. Exceptional. A generational W for our flagships. So Cassius is gonna be able to completely pop off at a most used team. And then this is gonna be fine on with not even with Cyrene, by the way. Actually still sticking with Sunday, but this is gonna be our performance for Cassius right behind very closely, because this is already gonna be the most used, so you obviously can't complete the team the second time. Third team is actually gonna be DOT, triple DOT. I literally just realized Cyrene only appeared once for the top 3 highest use case. She appeared once here, and then these 2 are variations for the Remembrance flagships for the more casual and free-to-play playbase. And she appeared once over here because casuals obviously can't copy herself in the same team. And this is going to be done without a Cyrene, and this is done without a Cyrene. So Restricted Dreamer is probably going to be punching the air right now because it turns out Sarah is right. You don't even want to give a shit about Cyrene if you're gonna blame DOT right then. Yeah, unfortunately, the Outbreak team only appeared in rank 4 for the second half Hule. So this is the classic break team where the casuals want to run a sustain. So that's gonna be great. And then moving down a little bit more, it's kind of the same picture, right? A couple of archers. Oh yeah, no, Archer actually did very, very well though. Wait. Archer did exceptionally well, guys. Wait, this Archer team at rank 7 is literally faster than every other team combined. Every single one of these teams at E0 did not match up to our 7.57 cycle average. And this is with a sustain. So Archer is really, really good here. Looking forward to see how bro is gonna be cooking out when the Sparkle buff is gonna be coming. That being said, I'm not too sure if it's gonna be still as strong, because to be fair, Sam using skill points is very, very beneficial for Archer at the end of the day, which is why his performance is gonna be that good. But Calamity boss is also not too bad, because Archer can just snipe out all of those parts one by one. So that is gonna be done. Rest of the news is just Firefly, Firefly, couple of DOTs in there. So that's gonna be that. Let's take a look at the fastest clears. Yo, chat, make a guess. Make a guess who's the fastest clears. Alright, you know what? I'm gonna make my guess. I guess the rank 1 team for fastest clear is going to be... Okay, obviously we're talking about sustainless. I guess the rank 1 fastest clear in Site 1 is either Archer or Nexa. Sustainless. Cost for cost. And then rank 2 fastest clear is probably Super Firefly. Alright, that's my guess. And oh, it's Expedition 33. Okay, and there it is, right? Peep. Oh my goodness, your streamer did not pre-watch this, by the way. Your streamer did not pre-watch this. I was literally with you guys on the spot. You know why? Because I have the absolute best knowledge when it comes to HSR meta. I know HSR meta like the back of my hand on my asshole, bro. So this is gonna be the fastest clear at a 1 cycle average 0.003 sustainless Archer mono quantum with Carousel Wolf as well as Sparkle. Then the rank 1 fastest team for Hule is none other than our Super Rate sustainless, who is Runmei. I don't even recognize her anymore, right? So following that is gonna be... Holy shit, guys. Bro, Final mains really hate Cyrene, huh? Yeah, Final mains really... Oh, wait, because it's gonna be a 0 cycle with E0 Cyrene. Oh my god, that's gonna be... Yeah, a 0 cycle with E0 Cyrene, especially on Final, is probably not gonna be a very, very good time. Luckily for us, Cyrene does find a little bit of a home with regards to, let's just say, for example, a Nexa. And the gap here is actually kind of crazy. We went from a 4 cycle at E0 to a 0.54 cycle at E2 plus or E1 plus. That is literally like almost 100% better or 1000% better, 10 times faster from 4 to 0.54. So the absolutely insane performance for Anas over here. I have no idea what the hell happened here where the E1 did worse than the E0. Probably a light spender that has no idea how the game works, so it is what I do. Same thing for this Final, by the way. I have no idea how this E1 clears slower than the E0, so it is what I do. Going down a little bit, I want to see some other teams. So this... What the fuck is that? Is that car? Wait, chat. Car is clearing on all 3 variations with Evernight. Because this variation of Evernight is going to be running car. This variation of Evernight is going to be running car. And this variation of Evernight is going to be running car. Not a single fast Evernight clear actually ran Tribby. Tribby didn't even appear for a single Remembrance flagship. She only appeared once for Finon and once for fucking Yun Li, bro. Yeah, single target environment is really rough for Tribby. Alright, even if you're gonna be getting the E1 Tribby, which is 1.86, is super fucking nice. But single target is unfortunately single target end of the day, right? So that's gonna be that. Firefly Sustainers is honestly still doing very well for the 7 despite the weakness break Sam. With a couple of Saber runs here and there. Boot Hill not doing too shabbily. And the rest of the team, I don't think we need to worry about it that much. Because it kind of be the same thing for Final Archer and Nexa, Final Archer and Nexa. Couple of DOTs in there. And that is going to be our MOC data statistics. As much as I would like to fill out one by one, like the best teams for each team, like I would do for like previous and edit, we are already at 35 minutes and I have 4 spreadsheets to go through. So now we are going to be moving on into the next data, and that is going to be pure fiction. And there it is. Wait, actually, before we go, I have to know. What? Oh my god, bro. The facial community is ruining facial, bro. What the fuck is going... Where is my clear, by the way? Wait, where is my clear? Wait, where is my clear, guys? Yo, chat, last time I checked, this is a 0 cycle. Yo, last time I checked, this is a 0 cycle. Right, last time I checked, this is a 0 cost 0 cycle, by the way. 0 cost, 0 cost, 0 cost, 0 cost. So where the hell is it? Where is my facial run, bro? Where is the 0 cycle, bro? That is what... Shut the fuck up. We literally started with 28. Right, we literally started with 28 and we ended off with 28. Right? So that is a fucking... Where is it, Prydwen? Where is a fucking face out 0 cycle? Nope. Okay, even if it counts as 1 cycle, where is the 1 cycle? I don't see a 1 cycle here. Where is the 1 cycle, guys? What are they doing to my wife? Bro, that's absolutely fucking unacceptable, by the way. Okay, wait. Peep. Come on. Ooh. Oh, okay. This team is actually not too shabby. Bro, 5.67 cycle average with Jiao Chill, by the way. 5.67 with Jiao Chill team. That is honestly not too bad. Wait, what's a rank 1 team again? Wait, yo, Jiao Chill is actually still got 1 more in him, guys. Jiao Chill still has 1 more in him with Acheron. So for E0, this is essentially the fastest clearing team. Right, then we have a couple of variations between Car and Sailwolf. It's all like a mix. It's literally just a mix between these 3, pick 2, and you're more or less okay. Right. We have a Dogron clear, which is kind of crazy. So, alright, no more stalling. Let's move on to pure fiction. And there it is. Right? Alright, let's take a peek over here. Oh, okay, so to nobody's surprise, the Remembrance flagship is doing Remembrance flagship things. Is anyone surprised? I see. Okay, so no one's surprised. Exception. So Remembrance flagship tier 1. We have a couple more Remembrance flagship users. Lingsha is clearing that much faster compared to the next DPS, which is once again proven by the Sustainers clears with Lingsha being the DPS. So that's gonna be that. HMC gonna still be used with alongside a couple of different. Reba also once again, to no one's surprise, is gonna be the fastest clearing super DPS in the AoE environment. So that's gonna be that. Fuck you, Dahlia is gonna be around the same caliber. Firefly honestly have generational improvements though. We literally went up by almost 6,700 points in pure fiction. That is kind of crazy. For a unit that literally could not... She's tier 1.5 pure fiction, by the way. 1.5 pure friction, and we went up by almost 6,700 points. Way. So that is gonna be like a Firefly completely destroying ARGENTI. D Herda, honestly, she still got a very decent improvement for like 51.72, so that's gonna be fine over there. Nexa is doing Nexa things. Baby Herda definitely brought by D Herda as well. And this is gonna be our Lurcha, right? Not too shabby. Nexa, Jade, My Day, okay. Car, Himeko, rest of the stuff is just not gonna be doing too good. Okay, actually, I'm kind of surprised the amount of lack of 30k clears at E0S1 on average. Because to my knowledge, 30k should be like really manageable. Unless I am completely out of touch and this pure vision was really hard. But there are a lot of units that can't get 30k, guys. Like Finon is doing a 27,563. Which is really low, even considering the fact that we have our Sireeni upgrade. Oh wait, everybody's running Sireeni in Remembrance Celebration, so I guess it is what. Pure Fiction is the hardest endgame outside of Anomaly, and it has been the hardest for like the past 5 patches. YouTube comments from the future. Do you agree with Sarah? Is Pure Fiction the most difficult endgame content in Honkai Star Rail? I'll look forward to your comments down there. But anyways, let's move on a little bit more. We have Saridra at 29, Ranmei at 28, Huan is Huan. Black Swan not doing too well. Yeah, all these town names are just kind of cooked. Argenti is just whatever he's doing. Yep, okay, cool. Okay, surprisingly, Boot Hill getting a clear is kind of crazy. Alright, even though it's super low, carry a wheelchair by Dahlia and fuck you, that is still there. I have no fucking idea what happened. If you laugh, Akron doesn't get a Nihility upgrade in version 4, right? The rest of the units are just not going to be clearing. I don't even want to see E0 as0 anymore. So let's just go on into the E2 category right now. Alright, so E2 category, once again, Remembrance Flagship doing Remembrance Flagship things. Very good. Finon. Holy shit. From a 2,700 clear, bro instantly shot up to 3,900. He went from like the bottom row instantly to the top. That should be a testament of what makes a unit's E2 good, by the way. It is not based on like, okay, yeah, E2 Sireeni, E2 Cazares, right? Really 40k clears. It is about the improvements they actually make before and after. Bro literally went from the 3rd row all the way to the 1st row, right? So that is gonna be an absolutely fucking diabolical E2 upgrade for Mr. Finon Castana. Very nice. We have a couple of teams over here. Fugue and Dahlia is gonna be the center super great things. My Day actually also went up by a lot. To be fair, his E1 is more than sufficient. I don't even think you need to care about E2 Mighty that much, but the E1 Mighty is super good for average content. So that is gonna be great. Firefly doing wait, E2 Firefly actually did better than E2 Reba. Yeah, she's done. Then this is gonna be our next Bailu. Wheelchair, okay, our Argenti with a couple of D Herdas here, which is also quite nice. DHPD, Highlands, Blade, Sunday, Kafka, Reba, J, blah 3,400 on the Boot Hill E2 is also really good, definitely carried by the Dahlia as well as speak over here. A lot more clears, generally speaking, with full E2s. Oh my god, wait, E2 Akron can't clear? You are trolling, bro. We're gonna ignore this, by the way, but you're trolling, bro. Okay, like for example, Fei Xiao not clearing Pure Vision. First of all, that's a lie. I can definitely clear Pure Vision Fei Xiao, so that's just a lie. But Akron is an AOE unit though. You know what I'm saying? And at E2, we are essentially not gonna be able to get ourselves 30k, which is a little bit unfortunate, right? Like for Archer and Fei Xiao, I don't think it's gonna be fair because they're literally before single target, so I forgive them. But ooh, that's gonna be a little bit rough. Yo, by the way, Mr. Editor, if you're watching this video right now, you know how we have a lot of like Firefly, Slender, Agenda, all that kind of stuff. I believe it is now time to shift our focus to my ex-wife, Acheron Slender. W. Very good. In any case, the rest of the stuff are essentially gonna be done over here. Imagine if the first ever buff going to an Emanator is gonna be broke. That will be absolutely fucking insane. So now we can move on down into our appearance. Alright, no one is surprised. Right, Breakers, very good. RMC, D Herda, Lingsha. Okay, Phylon doing not too shabby. A couple of Nexus over here. HMC, Nexus, DOT doing DOT things. Jade is not gonna be yep, okay, fine. I feel like at this point all the appearances are around the same, right? So I'm just gonna skip through this. Nobody kinda care about it that much. So let's move on to the actual character usage rate over time. Holy shit. A generational landslide victory for Evernight. completely destroying the DPS category as well as the sub DPS category, and almost perfect score for both fronts. And to no one's surprise, Cyrene is just doing Cyrene things, so it ain't what I do, and then this is just gonna be the power of Remembrance flagship. So there's that. Honestly, Casters is not that far behind. She's really fucking close to be complete, and we have like 60% appearance, right? So still doing extremely well. Tip, nobody's surprised, but yep, it is what I do. Then we have RMC. Enough. Then this is gonna be our DOT, and then we have a couple of Dahlia as our buffers over here. We have our Mighty main DPS alongside our DOD. Herda is... Okay, I don't really remember what is the next rotation of buffs in Pure Fiction. But the fact that we only have 4 DPS clearing above 30k is kind of crazy. Considering we have like... I think we have at this point more than 20 limited 5 stars, right? We only have 4 DPS clearing above 20k. And Herda is not even one of them. I personally think it might be a little bit of skill issue because Mr. Bob as a E0 S0 Herda and E0 S0 Nexa, we get off not just 30k but a 36k clear, by the way. So I think it's time to put in the work for the Herda mains and improve her overall performance when it comes to Pure Fiction, right? So this is gonna be our Blade over here with a couple of run mains. This is gonna be our DHPD clearing low and is fucking diabolical, by the way, but I don't need to worry about it too much. Jing Liu, Nexa, yeah, all these units are essentially just done. Yep, they are basically done. Done. Okay, yeah, they are done here, so that's gonna be done. Then we have a couple of stuff, DPS, which is a DOT as well as the AoE stuff, so that's gonna be fine. Amplifier wise, Car is doing a very low percentage rate. Saridra is all the stuff here, they're all essentially. I'm quite surprised Break is still this low. Hopefully we can see a little bit more of a upcomings for the next rotation. So that is pretty much gonna be done. And lastly, we are now gonna be moving on into our team usage in Pure Fiction. I'm guessing the rank 1 team. Let me think. Alright, hear me out, guys. This might sound crazy, but I think the rank 1 team might be the Remembrance flagship for both side 1 as well as side 2. Alright, so let's just see if MrPokke in its infinite knowledge in HSR is gonna be right. What? Okay, I'm actually wrong. Okay, you know what? That's fucking crazy. So, apparently Firefly has a higher appearance than Remembrance flagship for side 1. But we do have Remembrance flagship coming in at rank 1 for the second half overwhelmingly, as well as rank 2 for the first half. So that's kind of close enough. Then we have a couple of them. Ooh. Okay, this gap is legitimately fucking crazy though. From 28k to 39k average. We literally went up by 11,000 points, by the way. Simply because of the power of E2 finals. So this is a absolutely insane gap. We have a couple of Herda clears over here. With the E2 also went up by quite a bit. And everyone... oh my god, it's just all casters, bro. Every single team is just casters. And we have a couple of Herdas, but they're basically all casters. And we have a... Holy... The only 40k average. I think this is the only 40k average, right? At E0. Oh, no, I'm blind, guys. Okay, this is also a 40k average. But they have one thing in common. Higher scene and never this, right? So that is gonna be that. And the rest of the stuff is gonna be our breakers, couple of DOD over here, and then final is just not gonna be doing too good. I really am quite surprised at the lack of Cyrene users alongside final. Which just do be kind of crazy. So this is gonna be outside. Oh wow. Holy, okay, wait. The Cyrene team with E2 almost 40k. Yes, because with the power of E2, you can also destroy Pure Fiction. Absolutely. Rest of the stuff here is just gonna be a couple of repeats. So let's just take a look into the sort by score right here. What the fuck is that, guys? What the fuck is that? Is that a E0 Cyrene RMC Bobbin and higher scene? What the hell is a Cyrene main DPS? A Cyrene main DPS player. Holy shit, that is kind of crazy. That is actually kind of crazy. With a Bobbin. It's not even with a team, by the way. It's with a Bobbin. So, very, very exceptional. And then with a... Okay, to be fair, if it's not my score, all the 40k clears is with Remembrance. Yep, is all Remembrance except for one guy. There is a single guy out of all the top teams that got a 40k, and he is none other than My Day Most. The only 40k clear out of the sea of butterflies, the sea of remembrance, the sea of hyacinth. He is the only guy that topped the 40k clear, which I think is absolutely fucking insane. So W My Day sustainless as well, by the way. Really, really good, really nice. Then going down, oh yeah, bro, it's literally just all remembrance. Everyone's remembrance except for this one guy. Yep, okay, Okay, I really just think there's nothing else to be said. We have a couple of main DPS things. Okay, so it turns out main DPS Lingsha destroyed main DPS Firefly. I don't even see main... Oh. Okay, so main DPS Firefly is just not a thing then when it comes to fast clears. We have a boot. Okay, here we go. Okay, so we have one for Firefly, but at E0 is going to be a lot slower compared to Boot Hill. So that is going to be quite interesting there. E1 plus, we are obviously going to be getting the 40k with a couple of Rebel clears here and there. Then the rest of us is going to be remember. DOD is really very, very good, very, very nice. And now with that, we can finally come into our third segment, if I can say so myself. Wait, before I say so myself, I just want to check one last thing. Okay, wait. Okay, you know what? Now I'm happy right now. Okay, let's move on to APOC Shadows. Right now, it's gonna be time for APOC Shadows. Alright, really, really good. Really, really nice. Before we continue, can I please take a sip of water? Thank you, chat. Alright. Yo, chat. If someone gives me one sub, I will fart right now. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, anyways, we are now going to be moving on. Yo, by the way, I already recorded about. Yeah. By the way, we are now going to be moving on into APOC Shadow Analytics. No nothing. Let's take a peek right now. Why is it always the three of you? It's literally always the three of you, bro. It's always the three. For every single endgame, it's always them. And you know what, at this point, it ain't what I do. I'm not gonna talk about it too much. So we do have the HMZ over here. All right, we're gonna ignore the Remembrance flagship. Firefly, the best break DPS. Let no one tell you otherwise. As a day one Firefly believer, I always knew that Firefly is the definition of the best break DPS, right? So now we have a couple of Dara and Vagues. Lingsha is falling. How the hell is Argenti this high, by the way? What the fuck is Argenti doing to be this high? By the 0.53%. It can't be D Herda, right? Because D Herda is not even that high, bro. What's Argenti doing over here? At E0, he is near level 40. Okay, but who the hell is running Argenti, bro? Because D Herda's average is a little bit cooked, bro. One Sarah run. Oh, it's one Sarah run. Oh, okay. Then this is going to be RMZ. We have a couple of Rame. Jade over here. Gallagher. Boot Hill. Most definitely going to be against Argenti himself. Teep is Teep. Pelap. And Galea is actually not too shabby. We have a Reba, Maide, Anexa. Saridra, Hanmart 7. Wow, Hanmart 7. Okay. Then we have a Tree. That is a crazy score, by the way. 3. Right, then we have a 3. Crazy. Now we have a couple of 3s over here with Sunday, DHPD, blah blah. And then from this point onwards is below 3,300, which is they barely just clear. Okay, I want to say I'm quite surprised that Archer is not doing too well in Apocalyptic Shadows, but then again, we have ARGENTI as well as TV. He's definitely not going to be running against TV, and ARGENTI is just not a good matchup with Archer, so it is what it is, right? Huan just kind of dead. Dio just doing DOT things. Oh my god, right? It is what I do. Wait, where is Fei Xiao? You are trolling. You are trolling, bro. Who the fuck is this guy? Who is the 0.28% that intentionally ran down Fei Xiao? Hell nah, bro. Dude, I refuse to accept this. Nah, bro. These are Sarah's goons, bro. These are Acheron mains goons, right? They intentionally play Fei Xiao and just ran her with like a level 1 Lycon. And then she just went buff the base, bro. There's no fucking way that this is a thing, by the way. Oh, it's Genshin guy? Okay, so this is just misinformation. I wouldn't worry about it too much. So let's just move on into our E2S ones. Bada boom, bada boom, bada bing, right? Okay, to no one's surprise. Okay, and that's why I'm pretty sure it's just gonna be Argent if D heard out, so that's gonna be that. Alright, no one's surprised. Like, they are not doing too shabbily. Alright, not too shabbily. Alright, that good. Alright, no one's surprised. Okay. You have Sparkle, Blade, Archer. Okay, Huan. Alright, Acheron is kind of... How can this be, bro? How can Fei Xiao be here, bro? She's tier 0.5 Apocalyptic Shadows. How in fuck's name can she be here? At E2, by the way. How the fuck is this 0.5 getting cooked by 1.5, bro? That is fucking crazy, right? That is absolutely fucking crazy. I refuse to accept this. I will not accept this. These are lies. Misinformation. I refuse to fucking believe this. So, right? We're gonna run down a little bit more. If someone says mid-sell one more time, I will cry. Right, I will cry. Okay, now we're gonna go on to our appearance, right? This is gonna be our high scene. Okay, Cyrene, very good. Very nice. Very good. Okay, Firefly, very nice. Finon. Okay, Ranmei is still doing pretty well. Alright, we have D Herdas over here. Alright, a neck. Is this what you want? Okay, anyways, we have our DOT into our next and then we have a Bourbon over here. And then this is gonna be a Sparkle here. Or the rest of us are just like 0.1%, right? 1% guys, 1%. So I don't really care about it too much. Let's just jump into our character usage rate over time. Alright. Casterus MOCs, Evernight MOCs, Cyrene MOCs, and Hyacinth MOCs. Alright, nothing to be said. It is what it do. Nexa is actually maintaining top 3, so that is still quite nice, especially for Apocalyptic Shadow. How is Gallagher? Okay, I guess Gallagher's single target toughness bar is a little bit better than Ningxia and I'm more skill point positive, so not too big of a difference over here. DOT is just doing DOT things. Final is coming very, very close to a Nexa, but way higher appearance, so that's why the score is going to be a little bit lower. Aglea is actually not doing too bad. Yeah, Aglea is honestly not doing too bad. Then we have our couple of Archer, Maide, Hyacinth, Herta, Arjet. Oh my god, bro. How, bro? How, bro? How the fuck is this possible, bro? She's 0.5, bro. How? How? He's tier 3! I don't want to do it. What it is, right? Okay, but anyways, yeah, I just refuse to accept this. But don't worry, I think she'll come back up very, very soon. So that's gonna be fine here. Evernight, Anexa, Kafka, blah 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 blah. Okay, now I'm just depressed, bro. I'm just really fucking depressed by Apocalyptic Shadows. Yeah, okay, yeah, Saridra, right, Teep. Yeah, that's great. Okay. Alright, that's fantastic. Alright, that's fantastic. Okay, yeah, anyways. Hey, team usage rate, right? Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Okay, that's a lot of Fireflies. With a final clear coming in at rank 2 highest appear, and the rest of the stuff for rank 2, or rather side 2, is the Power of Remembrance flagship, and we have a couple of Anexa with D Herna clears. But everything else is just gonna be Remembrance flagship. Side 1 is mostly dominated by Firefly. We have one Force Remembrance flagship alongside Finon, and everything else is just gonna be Firefly, Archer, Firefly, Dierda. Yep, so it's gonna be almost the same team across the board, right? So very good. Let's take a look by the score, and that is gonna be, wow. Okay, that's really wow. Boot Hill mates. Well, Boot Hill mates are absolutely cooking though. Even though it's at by the 0.16%, Boot Hill is almost the fastest clearing side 1. But it is a super small population. Well done, Boot Hill mates. I already know Boot Hill is super fine against ARGENTI because of the so bad on the pocket trick shot on the book loans. But W Boot Hill. And then we do have ourselves the classic Anexa Sustainless. Alright, then we have a couple of rare bars. Right, then is that Han March 7th? What the fuck? I have no fucking idea how the hell do you run. I'm guessing you run Han March 7th with the buff on Dun's partner as well as the Shifu, both on the MC. I will call this the Harem team, right? This is literally Wise coming in to get both Shifu and Dun's partner, and then Wise will just slam up his skill, bada boom, bada bing, dream come true, and he's gonna get all the clears. So very interesting. Our rest of the stuff is gonna be, yep, just a lot of break teams. And then for side 2 is just, yeah, basically Remembrance flagship and Dierda, couple of mighties here and there, right? Okay, and there it is, right? And before we move on into the last data for today, which is gonna be anomaly arbitration, I have to take a look one last thing. Oh, okay, wait. Okay, hey. You know what? At the end of the day, though, a 3646 clear is a 3646 clear, right? So our fastest clear on facial right now is 3646, right? Let's see Acheron. Is that, you know how like the American cycle? Let's see Paul Allen's card. Let's see Acheron's card. Yeah, let's see Acheron's card. 3646. Okay, we're gonna ignore this because this is literally cheating with Dockeron. So this is ignored, right? We're not gonna count this. Okay, so it does appear that Acheron is not gonna be close to our wife's performance. Okay, this was really close, 36-3-1, but we still won Acheron with a 36-4-6, right? We still won Acheron with 36-4-6, so basically, Fei Xiao is just the better. He's cheating. Alright, Cyrene is an automatic disqualification because we have power of E2, Cyrene, and E2, so this is basically cheating. We're not gonna count it. Right, we're not gonna. This is basically cheating, because RMC is just basically cheating. So, yeah, he's just cheating, alright? She's cheating. Yeah, he's just cheating. Yeah, so basically, Fei Xiao clear. There's a shit ton of air clears. Holy shit. Yeah, there's a lot. Yeah, so TLDR Fei Xiao clears. Okay, anyway, we are now gonna move on into our last data, and that is going to be my favorite game mode in Honkai Star Rail. Anomaly Arbitration Analytics version 3.8 featuring our super brave team comp with Sunday King as well as the 3 different rights. If I can say so myself, right? So without further ado, let's take a peek and see what we have right here for King, Knight, and Knight, and Knight. Right, very good. Hey guys, MrPokke from the future. So my editor forced a gun to my head in game, and he told me I have to split this video into 2 so that we can have more videos for you guys. So therefore, I will see you guys on the next video for Anomaly Arbitration, where we have a detailed analysis for everything in Night 1, Night 2, Night 3, as well as Anomaly King itself, right? So without further ado, use code Poke of 10% gamers. Word of the day is gonna be Face Out is the best DPS in the entire game. If you say any other voice, I will literally come to your house and set a clean bomb to your face in game, right? Join Discord, join Discord, use code Poke of 10% gamers. All the best. See you guys next time.